Inside Hilltopper Athletics is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Lynn.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. We have a special wrestling edition today as we just held a press conference here on the campus of West Liberty University, and we announced the new head women's wrestling coach, Mr. Troy Bell. Brad, it has to be an exciting day, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. So kind of sum up, what's your thoughts?
Well, it's tremendously exciting. I know when you started the vision of adding women's wrestling here at West Liberty, it was something that wasn't taken lightly, and you and Coach Irwin did a lot of work and a lot of planning to get it to where it is today. And you kind of passed the reins off to me as the interim role, and we didn't want to take any steps back. Coach Irwin and the committee and I took a lot of time and effort to go through a lot of candidates, and Coach Bell just checked so many boxes for us with his history with the Marine Corps and what he's been able to do as a wrestling coach. We're very excited to have him here.
Well, you're being modest because you were part of those discussions as well before I moved on to other pastures. But you and I know why we started it, but share with the viewers out there, why women's wrestling, why now, why?
Well, I mean, when you look at wrestling in general, take men's and women's out of it, it's a sport that's, I call it a cult following. The support that we get and the sport of wrestling gets from the family, the community, it's unbelievable. And the support that we've had from alumni and the history of our program, I knew we could take it one step further, and I know that's probably the thoughts that you had as well. And the growing sport of women's wrestling is it's on fire right now, and it's to the point where there's not enough programs to meet the needs almost. And we thought there was an opportunity to really take off with that, and to add the sport of women's wrestling to an already rich history and tradition sport to coincide with our men's team. It's going to be impactful.
Talk about the financial impact on the university with enrollment.
Absolutely. And when you're looking at small schools, and West Liberty's no different, we're driven with enrollment. That's where a lot of our revenue comes from. And anytime you can add more student athletes to your campus, you're going to boost enrollment. But I don't want that to seem like that's our whole intention of adding programs like this. We always look for the student athlete experience first. And when we launched the Bobby Douglas campaign, we've proven that our student athletes' interests are our first concern. Once we continue this program and this campaign, we'll be able to have one of the best, if not the best, women's wrestling facilities in the country.
All right. Well, Mr. Forshey, thanks for joining us. Interim Athletic Director Brad Forshey, thanks for hosting us on campus today. And
absolutely, thank you.
Let's make this a great deal for West Liberty University. All right, we're going to go to break, and we'll be back with Director of Wrestling, Mr. Danny Irwin.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Ben Hallett. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Inside Hilltopper Athletics is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Lynn.
Welcome back to Inside Hilltopper Athletics, a special wrestling edition. I'm now joined by, if you're a West Liberty fan, this is not going to be a stranger to you, one of the more successful coaches that we've had at West Liberty University in years, Mr. Danny Irwin, the head coach of the West Liberty University men's wrestling program. It's funny now that we have to reference men's wrestling, women's wrestling, because for all these years it's only been men. But Coach, you were actually the driving force behind this. Although it had been on my radar, it was you coming to me over 2 years ago, and we started talking about this. We got Athletic Director Brad Forshey's thoughts, but let's hear it from the Director of Wrestling, also the head men's wrestling coach. Why women's wrestling? Why was that something you wanted to pursue at that time?
Well, it was exciting. We had a number of girls at our wrestling camp in the summer, and just more and more that they were like, hey, if West Liberty had wrestling, like this would be the place for us. And initially that's where the idea came, not mine, not anybody here on campus, but a young woman looking for to build her future, not only academically but athletically. And so when I brought that to you, and it was something that just exciting, that hey, what could it look like? And something that me and you worked on and your support. But then Dr. Borchers comes in and says, why not women's wrestling? We're like, well, hey, we got some ideas in mind. We got a blueprint in mind, and all of a sudden, here we are, less than a year later, with a building roster. Now our head women's coach, and just what an exciting time for the Hilltop and for just wrestling as a whole, and for our region, that we're going to be able to serve a number of students, athletes' needs on and off the mat.
Yeah, and can't say thank you enough to our president, Dr. Borchers, who without his support, we wouldn't be here today. That he's the one that ultimately is going to make the decision. We're going to pursue this. We're not. Thankfully, he was on board. He's a huge supporter of athletics, so we can't say thank you enough for Dr. Borchers. Hopefully, you'll get a chance to watch this. But, Coach, what's your vision of what this program will look like?
Well, I think that it's ultimately that we're bringing the right people in. I think we've done a great job, and our alumni, the way they represent across the country, not only professionally but in their communities, they've just laid the foundation for what West Liberty Wrestling means here and out in the country. And ultimately, now we have the opportunity to bring in women that embody those same morals, those same characteristics, that same kind of drive. That ultimately now that I think with the ladies that we've recruited this year and are going to continue to recruit, that it's just going to continue to raise the bar here. That they want to crush it in the classroom. They want to be the best on the mat, and they're just great people that are going to represent not only themselves, their families, their communities, but ultimately West Liberty as a whole at just a high level. That now our women's team is going to make our men's team better. I think our men's team makes our women's team better, and that we're just continuing to pick up steam with adding the right type of people each and every day.
Well, and it's exciting from someone like myself whose career started on the women's side. I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to coach women's basketball for 25 years, and this is near and dear to me. There's a demographic out there that for years just didn't get opportunities. And I would also like to say thank you to Caitlin Clark. What she has done for women's athletics just in the last 6 months, and that's not taking away from any other prominent female athlete in the history of sports. I was even watching a video of Olga Korbut the other day. Do you know who Olga Korbut is?
I don't.
Well, there's 1972 Russian gymnast.
Well, that makes sense then.
There's been a ton of success, but Caitlin Clark drew so many eyes to the women's side of athletics, and I'm hoping that we can capitalize on that here at West Liberty University, and this is going to transform. We want to be trendsetters here at West Liberty, and I'm hoping that this is a major step to maybe the MEC hosting the first women's wrestling championships.
And like you mentioned, Caitlin Clark, I think that's the type of student athlete that we've already attracted, that we're finding women across the country choosing West Liberty and looking at West Liberty because their goals not only to win on the NCAA level like all our other sports, but the really cool thing about our women's program, we believe that we're going to be able to have girls make the world team, and eventually now the Olympic team here in 4 years in LA. That could be quite an exciting thing, not only for them but this region and ultimately the university representing themselves.
Well, Coach, can't thank you enough for what you've done with our men's program, and now the role that you've played in us announcing that we have ventured into women's wrestling. Thank you very much, and thanks for coming on. We're going to go to break, and we'll be back with the guest of honor today, Coach Troy Bell.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Kyle Cooper. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Inside Hilltopper Athletics is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Lynn.
Welcome back to the featured segment of Inside Hilltopper Athletics Wrestling Edition. I'm now joined by our guest of honor. Today, you're the VIP, the MVP, whatever initials we want to come up with today. But I think I'm speaking for the entire West Liberty community. Athletic Director Brad Forshey verbalized that earlier in a press conference. But we are so excited to welcome you to the Hilltop. So, Coach Bell, welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm really excited. This is a great opportunity for my family, myself, being here at the Hilltop and helping Coach Irwin continue the success of the wrestling program that's already happened. The exciting thing is that women's wrestling is, as we spoke of earlier, it's the fastest growing sport in America right now. So we are in an Olympic year, and those are the type of athletes that we're going to be recruiting, and we're excited for the future.
Well, give us a little bit of a background for people that don't know you from anybody else. Give us a little bit how you got here today. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yes, that's an interesting story. I actually grew up just about 4 hours southwest from here, on the Kentucky-West Virginia border, actually. Spent 26 years in the Marine Corps. I think that gave me a unique advantage in my coaching career, where I traveled the world and the nation, coaching under different coaches, coaching side-by-side coaches. I learned a lot of different coaching philosophies. So that I think is an advantage because that formed my systematic approach to the coaching and different techniques that I was able to take advantage of. So I've coached pretty much at every level, the club level, middle school, high school, college. Been a recruiter, administrator, assistant coach, head coach. So yes, I bring a lot of experience through my travels, but I know it wasn't the normal route that most coaches take, but I think it was advantageous to me because I learned from many different coaches.
You are leaving Mount Olive, correct?
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about the program there. How long were you there?
Mount Olive was in the same situation just 2 years ago that we are here at West Liberty. It was a startup program. I was there from the startup to me leaving a couple months ago. We had it was an All-American team the first year. Finished 9th in the nation as an All-American team, 9th in the nation this year at Nationals. 3 All-Americans, 10 national qualifiers. So I think the program was heading in the right direction. I was looking to be in facilities like here at West Liberty and recruit world level athletes, as Coach alluded to, and I think West Liberty was a good fit for me.
When did you hear that this opportunity, how did even that come about?
I believe it was actually my wife. I think she was online somewhere and actually ran into it because I was up in the air whether I was going to continue coaching or just retire. So I did my research and contacted Coach, sent my resume in. But yeah, their wife kind of kick-started that ball down the road.
It's just amazing, and from someone that was on the coaching side for so many years, how every story is unique in itself, whether you signed this player through this means or you heard about this player through another means, and it's no different with opportunities like this.
Yes.
How important was our men's success in wrestling that gave you confidence that you could do it on the women's side here?
It was very important because I'm also not only a coach, but I'm a parent of a student athlete. So I understand the relationships. I understand that the foundation of success is built upon the relationship, upon the trust that the athlete has. And I understand that the success is not going to happen at West Liberty on the men's program with Coach Irwin if there wasn't trust and there wasn't, a love for the sport among the athletes and the coach. So that was a vital of importance to know that I can kind of tailgate off of that and bring in my own coaching philosophy, but also that West Liberty already has a tradition of winning, a rich tradition that goes back many, many years. So that was exciting for me.
Well, one thing, and I am so excited for you to get a chance to meet some of our alums and former coaches, because we do have a tremendous following. Yes. Wrestling has been so successful here, going all the way back to the 60s. Yeah. And boy, when we hired Coach Irwin, how they immediately jumped on board and said, how can we help you get us to the promised land? Mm-hmm. And I couldn't say enough for all those individuals out there that have played such a significant role on aiding our men's program. So I'm pleading, I'm begging, I'm asking anybody out there watching, if you have stepped in and thrown your weight behind our men's program, let's throw it behind the women's program as well. And one of the things that I think I understood as a coach here, I definitely understood as the athletic director here, is any team that has success, that aids every other team in the department. Yes. We want to be successful across the board, and any time we can bring new eyes to the institution, and it's not just in athletics. If there's people that's going to see this on social media and maybe watch the press conference or watch Inside Hilltopper Athletics, that's a potential biology student. That's a potential teacher education student. It all plays a role in West Liberty being successful. So all I can tell you, Coach, I've been here for many, many years. I don't even want to say how many years, but I'm ancient, and I stayed so long because of the support that I got, the colleagues that I got to work with, the administration that I got to work with. They truly made this place special, and on behalf of West Liberty University, we want to make this place special for you and your family. Welcome to West Liberty. Get off of this podcast, get on the phone, bring recruits in. Yes. Let's win a lot of matches. Yes. That wraps up this edition, Inside Hilltopper Athletics. I want to thank our whole crew that helps with these broadcasts throughout the year. This is probably the last one for the calendar year. So Logan and Rex and Alec and everybody, thank you so much, Teresa Gretchen. I enjoy doing these, and we get to meet special people. So until we're back again, probably in the fall, have a great summer, everyone.
Hi everybody, my name is Max Kellis. I'm a junior here at West Liberty, and I'm a general business student. Today I'm going to show you what it's like to be in this program. We're heading into my first class today, which is going to be management.
We were looking at organizational structure and culture. So last class we actually focused on how organization assess their environment, right?
The general business program at West Liberty is honestly a great experience. It prepares business students for the real world, and there's everything from management classes to international business to marketing and any sort of, sect of business that anyone would want to go into, West Lib offers. I think that the relationship between the teachers and the students is really unique. Because of our smaller class sizes, the teachers are able to give students a more one-on-one personal experience, and I think that's really tailored towards the student, to benefit the students. Another unique thing about West Liberty's business program is they actually offer all the classes online. So you can either choose, whenever you're registering for your classes, you can choose some online classes, some in person, or you can do all of one or all of the other, and that makes it great, I think, for students. I've been commuting this semester, so it's been a little bit more difficult, so the online classes have definitely made that easier for me. I'm headed into my second class for today, which is Intro to General Business with Miss Rocchio.
We're going to continue with Chapter 3, which is the different ways that you can start small businesses.
Somebody should definitely consider a general business degree at West Liberty. It definitely leaves a lot of doors open, a lot of possibilities. I personally chose general business because I wasn't exactly 100% sure what I wanted to do with my life. and I wanted to stay kind of closer to my hometown of Wheeling. After I graduate, I could probably go into any field I'd like to. I hope to go into marketing and do marketing for some sort of company. I think I'm good with people. I like to talk to people. So those are my specific aspirations. Now we're heading into my advising session with my advisor, Dr. Chen.
This semester, how many credit hours are you having?
15.
15, okay. How do you feel?
I feel good. Something really special about the advising here on West Liberty's campus is the one-on-one interaction between the advisor. I had previously talked about the teacher-student interaction, which is fantastic. It gives students a very individual learning experience, but it's the same exact thing with the advisors. My advisor is Miss Chen, and anytime that I have issues scheduling or issues with my major or honestly anything, I reach out to her in an email and she gets back to me, and we honestly, every time I've reached out to her, we meet the next day. She's there to help me with my schedule, to help me with my classes or anything I need, honestly. And I really think that's special for a college to be able to have such a personal experience with your advisor. Since it's a beautiful day, I'm gonna meet the guys out on the quad and play a game of cornhole. In terms of extracurricular programs on campus, I'm also a member of KDK, a local frat on campus. KDK is only here at West Liberty. We're not nationally recognized, which I think is good because it gives us more of a sense of community. And growing up in Wheeling, I have always been a homebody, and I've loved my community. And through KDK, we're able to help our community with different outreach programs. It's nice to be more community driven, as West Lib is. Thank you all for tuning in. If you guys would like some more information, feel free to check out our website.
Hi everyone, my name is June Bronlick and I'm one of the students in the BA, BS to BSN program here at West Liberty University, and I'm going to show you what it's like to be a student here. Now we're heading off to evidence-based practice.
What do you do for communication between you and your spa? I know you would never call the doctor or anyone, right?
So the BA, BS to BSN program is designed for students who have already obtained a bachelor's degree, whether that's in the arts or in the sciences, and they're looking to obtain another degree, specifically a bachelor's in nursing. The structure of the program is set up in a way that once you're admitted into the second degree program, you immediately go into what would be considered your junior year. So you're completing your junior year fall and spring with the traditional students. So what's going to make the second degree program different is that your senior year will start in that summer immediately following that junior spring semester, and it's going to be completed in the fall. So you'd be graduating in that December. So obtaining a second degree, a bachelor's degree in science of nursing within a year and a half. And now we're heading off to professional nursing.
So let's look at this. It's the absence of the parasympathetic ganglion cells in the submucosa, okay, right below the mucous membranes.
So to apply to the program, you're going to already need a bachelor's degree, whether that's in the arts or in the sciences, and there are going to be prerequisites that are required to the application process. You're going to need classes in chemistry, microbiology, anatomy and physiology, along with a write-up describing why you want to apply specifically to this nursing program and what's drawing you to be a nurse. And today is my clinical day at WVU Medicine Wheeling Hospital. Clinical is set up in a way that you're going to go into the hospital on a weekly basis, and it's going to coincide with the rotation that you're doing and what you're learning in class, so then you're getting that hands-on experience. We do 4-week rotations in medical surgical, in labor and delivery, in psych, in pediatrics. So not only are we able to get that application that we're learning in class, we are also getting the experience of a variety of different units and different areas of nursing. So I always knew that I wanted to do something in the clinical setting. My first degree was in microbiology, and at that time when I was obtaining that degree, I didn't necessarily know what field that I wanted to go into. And I will say that COVID did play a huge role in my decision because we saw a lot of these healthcare workers step up and put themselves out there and just ran into this pandemic head on. And I found that to be so altruistic. And I wanted to be part of that in the future to help those who couldn't necessarily help themselves in those moments. So I'm really happy that I decided to pursue nursing. And not only that, I'm unbelievably blessed that West Liberty offered a specific program like this. Thank you for checking out the program with me. For more information, see our website.
Hi, my name is Claire Kelly and I'm a microbiology major here at West Liberty, and I want to show you what it's like to be in this program. First off, we're going to head into biological chemistry with Dr. Schmidt.
Now, in looking at the reaction that leads to the formation of this bond, we see that water is released. Does anyone know what kind of reaction this would be where water gets released?
The microbiology program is a really interesting program that prepares you for a wide range of future career paths within the biological sciences. Outside of the required courses, there are really interesting electives that you get to choose from that you wouldn't really get the opportunity elsewhere. For example, I took a fluorescence microscopy course with Dr. Ozempa, where we had full access to a research-grade fluorescence microscope and assisted Dr. Ozempa on research he'd been working on. So I chose this major as microbiology was always a subject that I was really interested in school, and I wanted to learn more about it. After I graduate, I want to continue further studies within the field of medical microbiology, researching diseases caused by microorganisms. Next, we're heading into analytical chemistry with Dr. Swartz.
So it becomes, right, how do you handle all those different errors? You guys learned the rules of synthesis back in Gen Chem.
This major is good for others to consider because it provides you with a comprehensive knowledge on the biological sciences. It prepares you for a variety of future career paths. Many go on to apply for med school, PA school or PT school, or postgraduate studies in microbiology. In addition to that, with the skills you learn in the labs throughout the major, you are also very employable for work in a lab setting. So now I'm going to head into the lab and work on some of my research projects. There are so many research opportunities available as an undergrad, both working with professors and conducting independent research. I work with Dr. Schmidt's lab, researching a novel family of antibiotics called rhizazomycins, and how one Francisella tularensis gene in particular plays a role in rhizazomycin susceptibility. It is really unique to have these opportunities, as usually you wouldn't get to do this work until postgraduate studies. Having this experience really gives you a leg up when applying to various graduate programs and jobs. Students in the microbiology program are incredibly lucky with the professors in the biology department. Every single one of them really cares about the success of their students and are very passionate about the subjects they teach. With the small class sizes, they really get to know each and every student and are there to help you when you need it. I'm also on the women's soccer team here at West Lib, and now it's time for practice. Being a student athlete here at West Liberty has been an incredible experience. It definitely comes with its challenges of time management and juggling both college work and training, but there's a lot of support on both sides to make it work. Being a student athlete here means becoming part of the community, and being far away from home, as I'm from Ireland, is really important for me. West Liberty really has become a home away from home. Thanks for checking out the program with me today. For more information, look at our website.
Hi, I'm Jason Ake. I'm a grad student at West Liberty University, and I'm working on the earthworm lab. So we're attempting to study some invasive earthworms here on the campus property. We have a survey area where we go out and try and figure out how many they are, where they are, what species they are. Earthworms are really small, of course, and you don't really think about them, and you hear about them being good for gardens and all that. But these invasive earthworms live out in the woods and they eat basically everything. They live in the dirt, they eat leaves, wood, take all the nutrients out of the forest. Plants can't grow, bugs can't find food, even trees start dying because they run out of nutrients. So our end goal is just trying to get a better understanding of the species. We're using some new spatial analysis techniques. I really hope that we can include this research to write my master's thesis.